So we just watched The Army of Darkness. Instead, we don't have any announcements, so we're just gonna get right with the spoiler alert because you're gonna want to go to see this movie blind, completely.
100% you want to go see it blind. It was, oh man.
All right, so you have 5 seconds before we spoil the fuck out of Army of the Darkness. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Holy fuck, that was amazing!
Yes,
that was
was.
such a good movie.
Yes,
oh
it was.
man.
And Casey went in like literally 100%
I went in literally
blind.
blind. Like I didn't know a single thing about it. And then there was some like previews and stuff showing around in the theaters on the monitor.
Yeah.
And so, but I didn't know exactly like. I've obviously went in blind, so I didn't know what was what, and I didn't know what was happening in the context. But it was so good, and definitely not what I expected.
Yeah.
100%.
Going in, you thought it was gonna be like a horror movie or something.
Yeah, I
like
thought
that,
it was gonna be like a super scary movie,
No.
but it wasn't.
No, it's dopey as shit, and it's
so
amazing.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All those bits of the skeletons just make me
Yes,
happy
oh my
inside.
god. Brett told me to like keep an eye out for the ones on horses, and
Yeah.
like thank you for that, by the way. That was duly noted. Thank you so much. Because he was just like,
It's
going
just jiggling
around.
all over the place because
Oh man,
they
that
took
was
like
so good.
they took like stereotypical like Halloween store skeletons.
No, here's
dressed
the
them up
thing.
in armor,
Here's the
just
thing.
plopped on a horse.
So that movie was
and
made in
went.
like the 90s. It had the
The
skeletons.
special effects were like from the 60s.
No, the skeleton effects are mirroring that of Jason and the Argonauts. That movie was made in like the 50s or the 60s.
Yeah.
And that is okay entirely because of the way they handled the movie.
Oh man, it was so good. And then there was that one part where he's like in the windmill, like the place with the windmill,
Yeah.
and then like there's like all these like he shatters a mirror, right?
Little mini hymns.
And then like a bunch of mini hymns come
Yeah.
out and just start like fucking with him. Like what was that? That was so weird. And then
That-
like one of them goes in his mouth.
Yep. And then it grows a new ash.
And he grows a new Ash, and that becomes evil Ash. That was the
bad
weirdest
Ash.
thing.
You're good Ash.
God.
Goody goody two shoes, goody goody two shoes.
Oh, man.
That was so weird.
That whole
Oh man.
that whole movie is like one of my favorite movies of all time.
I can see why.
Yeah,
It's easily in my top 5.
I think it is the pinnacle of campy in the terms of any movie ever. It doesn't take itself seriously.
At
it
all.
knows what it is, and they're just like, "Fuck it, we're gonna go with it."
They know it's the 3rd movie in a series. They sent the character back in time to the Middle Ages.
Yeah, I was completely confused about that because it started out with like him being chained to a bunch of other slaves
Yeah.
and being transported. This like,
Yeah.
oh, this is I think the year 1300 AD.
Yeah.
And then and then like
It's a quote unquote flash forward. It's a flashback.
yeah, it was a flash.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. So like it was that was the weirdest thing, and I had no idea what was going on.
Like
and
Quentin
then,
said before we started watching, it's like the first 5 minutes is a recap of the first 2
pretty
films.
yeah, it was.
You really didn't miss much.
You
No,
really
you
didn't
didn't.
miss much. Yeah.
If you wanted to really like get background on it, I would just watch the second one because
Yeah.
the first one is actually a pretty good horror movie in the way that it does everything and
Yeah.
the way that all the effects are done.
It actually
the
takes itself
second
seriously.
one, they gave up.
Just
The second
completely.
one is about on the same level as that is in terms of campiness.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like the first one actually was a horror movie.
First one was actually a pretty
Yeah,
good
it
horror
took
movie.
itself seriously.
And then, like I said, they just gave up.
Okay.
like there's a scene in the second one where he just literally fights his disembodied hand because
Yep.
it's possessed.
Ugh.
That's why he has a chainsaw for a
Weird.
hand.
Yeah.
Fucking weird. Oh man.
It's so good. That movie is so good.
Okay, but the one thing that I actually kind of bothered me is
Yeah.
like, okay, there was one thing with like Sheila, the
Yeah.
woman.
Yeah.
It's like she's like being all nice and sweet to him, and she like gave him I think it was like a piece of cloth. I think it might have been like a sweater,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
like he
horse
was like, oh,
blanket.
I need a horse blanket. So he says, I need a horse blanket. She slaps him and then goes off, and then he chases after her and says, give me some sugar, baby. And then they start making out.
Yeah, that's
That-
just Ash.
That was what the hell was that? That would not happen in real
That's
life.
just
You're
Ash.
absolutely right.
That was just
That's just pure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd just like to
Yeah.
point out one thing. That actor, in terms of movies he's been in, I think he's better at one-liners than Arnold is.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is
Probably,
pretty
yeah.
good, but that movie alone, every single line that he says is just a perfect one-liner, and then whatever's going on next.
In fact, one of his one-liners is just one word: groovy.
Groovy.
yeah.
And he says that in not all 3 movies.
I think he says it in all 3 movies.
Does he? Because I can't remember it in the first one because it was taking itself seriously, but I know it was definitely in the second one.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
That movie is just fucking
That was
glorious.
so good. Oh,
But Quentin, how about you give the audience a rundown of the swag we got from Alamo?
We got a foam chainsaw.
It's like one of those foam fingers.
But it's a chainsaw, and it goes on your hand. And then the other thing we got is a pop gun, which, where is mine?
It's like one of those things you put like a little ring of caps in, and it goes.
Yes.
Though it works like shit. It's horrible.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they had to give it to
Yeah.
everyone in the audience.
Yeah, they weren't gonna spend much on that.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't expect them to. I'm just glad they actually got these custom foam chainsaws. That is badass.
That is dope as hell.
Oh man.
There were a couple sitting around, a couple chainsaws that weren't claimed, and I was considering grabbing them, but
Yeah.
I was
You
like,
should've.
nah.
You can only have one chainsaw when you're Ash.
Oh, really? True.
He doesn't have dual chainsaw hands.
Yeah.
Plus, if I got more than one, I would have ended up walking out of that theater with 2 on my feet, 2 on my hands, and 1 on my head. Real bad.
But yeah, that movie is a masterpiece.
Yeah,
It is amazing.
Oh man.
But yeah, let's go back to story time because
Yeah.
I have a few.
I have a few as well.
Was a little Brett sadist.
I can
Little
wait for
sadist.
it until
Yeah.
later, but yeah.
Because in part A, Quinn was talking about how he was just obsessed with sharks when you were like, how old?
young.
Yeah, like young.
young.
Okay, well, when I was young as well, like about 4 or 5, like from ages like 4 to 10, I was like obsessed. No, not even 4. I must have been like 3 years old. Like 3 to 10, I was just obsessed with dinosaurs. Like the only movies I'd ever watch are Pokemon, just because like Charizard is like kind of a dinosaur, so on and so
Yeah,
forth.
sure.
Godzilla
Okay.
and Jurassic Park. Yes.
Wait, which Godzilla?
All the Japanese ones. And
Okay.
I also watched a lot of the American one because
Yeah, you
I was a
did.
dumb as shit kid.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Is that one bad?
Oh, it's horrible.
Okay.
The Matthew Broderick one, Ferris Bueller versus Godzilla, it's awful.
Beautiful.
It
And
is so
is
awful.
Jeff Goldblum in that movie?
No, you're thinking of Jurassic Park.
Yeah, it's Jurassic Park.
But apparently when I was 3, my mom found me outside of the house with a baby bird's nest, right?
Yeah.
And
Oh boy, I have a feeling I know where this is going.
and one of the baby birds fell down. I was like, chip, chip, and little red me was like, dinosaur smash!
Oh my
And I was
God.
about to like literally just go
Oh no!
Oh, you're-
splat that bird all over the back. And my mom was like, no, no.
Oh man, Brett.
Oh,
It went there. Yeah, that's where I thought it was gonna go. And it went there.
And my mom was super protective of me. Like I had like white as paper hair when I was like that age, and she was able to like spot a bug in my hair from like 10 yards away. It was
Yeah.
ridiculous. But another time is we were driving back from visiting my grandpappy, and I must have been like 1.5, 2 years old.
The crazy one. The crazy one.
Yeah, my crazy
All right,
grandpappy.
okay.
And
best one.
Yeah.
The best one.
And we were on the highway between Detroit and Cleveland, and
The safest
I was
place.
yeah the absolute safest place. I was still in my car seat, so I was in the front, and my mom going about 80 down the highway because she's always like 10 over. This boom. Bird hits the windshield, just explodes.
Holy
Not like
crap.
bloody, just poof, like it just feathers.
Oh my god.
2-year-old me is laughing his ass off. And my mom described it as the deepest belly laugh I have ever had.
Okay.
And it was at the death of a little bird. And I feel horrible.
Hold up a goddamn minute. If we're talking about birds hitting windshields, I have the greatest story of the worst road trip ever.
Oh god. Yeah,
So-
that's the end of my stories anyways.
So when I was younger, I used to go to North Dakota every single goddamn summer.
because the rest of your family lives
'Cause
there,
like
you're really
90%
racist
of my
great
family.
grandpappy.
It's also the most fun place in the United States.
No, it is not. There is nothing there.
It's more worthless than Cleveland.
I shit.
At least it's not Detroit though. So.
Yeah, at least it's not Detroit.
I wish it was Detroit, because at least in Detroit something interesting would happen. Nothing happens there. I kid you not. One time when I was there, the front page story on the newspaper, front page, most important thing was that someone shit in the woods. No joke. Someone was shitting in the woods, and someone caught them, and they were like, this is front page news. This is what everyone needs to know about.
Did they get a picture?
I don't know if they got a picture. I can't remember. I just remember my mom showed me the headline and it said, man found pooping in woods. And I'm like, I give up on life. But
Because I can just remember, I can just like imagine like the front page is just
Yeah.
like a guy pooping in the woods.
Hopping a squat, bro.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
You know,
so
the front page story last time I went back to Cleveland was there was like 3 people who got shot.
but
That was
so
my
good.
headlines. Yeah.
but so going to North Dakota, you can't fly directly there.
'Cause it's a bunch
We
of
would
mountains
have to
and shit.
fly to Minnesota and then drive like 5 hours from Minnesota to North Dakota, and it was always a fucking nightmare. It was so long and so boring. But what ends up happening is at one point, we're driving back from North Dakota back to Minnesota so we can fly back to home. And we start out the drive, and it started off bad because as we are driving, about 30 minutes into the drive, this like either vulture or a bird with giant ass long neck just flies in front of our car, right in front of the fucking passenger side where I'm sitting. Its neck snaps on the goddamn window and just falls to the side. And I'm like, oh shit! And for the rest of the ride, I could see flesh and like wings sitting inside of where its head hit on the window.
And that spot doesn't get hit by the windshield wiper either.
Nope.
It's like
It
an
just
edge
sat
window,
there.
so it will not get. Oh,
And it was a
fuck.
rental car too. But they didn't break the windshield, which was good. So, then later down as we're driving down the
Wait,
road,
were you there in the front seat the entire rest of the trip?
yes,
Why didn't you like switch with someone else?
there was no one else. It was me, my mother, and my brother. And my brother was too small to sit in the front seat. I didn't want to sit in the back seat because my brother's a shit. And yeah, those were my 2 options. So, later on, driving down the road, driving down the highway, there's this 18-wheeler in front of us. His fucking back wheel starts exploding.
Oh, jeez.
Just pieces of rubber shooting back at our goddamn car. And I'm like, I'm gonna fucking die. And you guys wonder why I was so scared to start driving. That's one of the reasons. I'm like, I'm gonna get behind a goddamn 18-wheeler and they're gonna shoot a goddamn piece of rubber at me. It's gonna take my goddamn head off. And that lasted for about 5 minutes until we got past him and he pulled over. Then as we keep going, this is the worst part in my opinion. We had to sit motionless on the highway for an hour and a half
Oh, that's
because somewhere further down the highway, a like oil tanker or something flipped over and filled the entire highway with whatever liquid was inside of it, so the whole thing was shut down. So we missed our flight. I had to stay in the fucking north another goddamn night. Fucking the whole ride was garbage and it pissed me off.
I feel like that's something that could only happen to you.
You're absolutely right. And then another time, me and my dad went to a sports convention in Kansas because he's like, I want to fucking meet Troy Aikman. And I'm like, okay then. And we're driving down the road. And again, this fucking vulture, this time it wasn't coming from the side, straight dead on. This vulture just flying straight at our car. And I'm like, I'm going to die. The thing flies up above our car. And I'm like, thank
Oh, man.
God.
That was close.
Made me freak out. But I can't remember.
I've imagined if like your life was like a Fallout character, you'd have like 2 luck
Negative.
or like 1 luck. It's
Negative
just-
2.
yeah.
Negative 2.
I
Yeah.
do not understand how the fuck this happens in your life.
Neither do I.
Oh.
I don't play Fallout, so I don't understand.
And basically in Fallout, there's like the special skills, and then like the bottom, like you can assign 1 to 10, 0 being the no. I don't know if it can go to 0, but
It can.
yeah. Okay, so it can go from 0 to 10, and there's like a luck stat. Quentin just rolled
Oh,
0.
But so, what was it? So I have a couple of stories. I'll let you
Oh.
choose.
One more though, because
Okay.
I have like a quick thing about my grandpa again.
Okay.
Not only didn't he
Okay.
have a door, he also didn't have a trunk on his car or a back bumper.
He had a trunk, but it just didn't close, right?
Yeah, it didn't close, so he had to use bungee cables.
Yeah,
and
that
at one
works for
point,
me.
he attached the bungee cable from like the top of the trunk to the bottom of the bumper
No.
until one day he had too many bumper cables. I mean, jumper cables, not jumper cables, bungee cables, and just ripped off.
No.
Wait,
ripped
the
off back
bumper ripped off?
Yeah, it ripped
Bumper
off the back
ripped off,
bumper,
yeah.
and now he doesn't have a back bumper, and also no trunk because he couldn't keep it closed. So he just removed it.
Okay, so I'll let you decide which one. So there are so many things that have happened to me in the past couple weeks. We have Chinese school ghosts, sun moon collision, Student Teacher Fist, Master Dingus, Gaylord, and June Bugs.
I'm down for Master Dingus.
Master Dingus caught my
Okay,
ear.
I want to go with Sun Moon Collision first, just
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's the one that I remember the most, and it's the one that made me really think about my life for a minute.
Okay.
So I was sitting there, and
Wait,
so
what was it called again?
Sun Moon Collision.
Sun Moon Collision.
So I'm sitting in after one of my classes, and I'm checking the weather because I wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to rain like shit on Saturday because I had to mow the yard.
Okay.
And as I'm looking at the weather, if you click on the day that the weather of the weather that you're looking at, it shows you the time of the sunrise and the sunset and the moonrise and the moonset, or moon whatever. So I'm sitting there looking, and I'm like, wow, the sun sets at 8:04, but the moon rises at like 7:30, and I'm like, if that happens, they're gonna run into each other in the sky, and we're gonna all die because the moon debris falls on us. And then as I'm sitting there thinking that, I'm like, oh my god, I'm an adult. How is this
my
still
God.
allowed to happen to me?
You dumbass.
Yes, I am a dumbass.
That was.
That me thinking that made me have to rethink my life for a good 30 minutes. I was sitting in my next class and I'm like, I can't focus on what's going on here. I'm going through a midlife crisis and I'm only 20 years old. Holy shit.
Wasn't there a moment I had like that, like a couple months back, about the shoreline? I don't remember
Yes.
what it was. What, you
You
remember?
were like, the majority of California's coastline is touched by water. And then you were like, wait, Brett, all coastline is touched by water.
I think I remember what it was. California has the greatest percent of its coastline
Touching
on
water. Yep, that's what it was.
Greatest percentage.
I have
Fuck, that's the definition of a coastline.
I have a friend who had something similar, like that happen to her, right?
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
will remain nameless just because. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, you know how like when it's supposed to rain, it says like, oh, there's a 90% chance of rain.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Like a percentage.
So, okay, now when you think about that, what you probably think of is that, oh, there's a 90% chance that it's going to rain, period, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just going to rain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She thought that it was like 90% of the area was going to be covered with rain. It didn't say like, it was like, she didn't like someone told her that like with a serious face, but as a joke, and she didn't get it.
And
so
so she's just living with it.
yeah, no, she found out later on. But like she thought it was 90% of the entire area. She didn't even know what
Here's
the fuck the bounds of the
here's-
area were.
Here's the problem with that. That's what that means.
Shut the fuck up. No, it
I'm not
doesn't.
kidding. That is what that means. If it says 90% chance of rain, that means 90% of the area will be hit with rain. I am not shitting you.
I am not accepting this.
That is
No,
that
that's
is
bullshit.
It's not
100%,
bullshit.
but yes, it is.
It is. No, it's
Stop.
not.
No, that's.
Where's your
You're
scientific
fucking
facts
with me
proving
right
the
now.
other one?
You're fucking with me.
We're checking this when we get to Five
We
Guys.
are
guys.
gonna check this shit.
Stop arguing. We're gonna turn this goddamn car around.
Well, that means extra podcast for us. But like, I'm serious. That's what it means.
I
and I'm
cannot
not
believe
kidding.
that. I cannot believe that. No, but then that friend, I think that friend that told her with a serious face. No, it wasn't. No, she found out later on when she said it like with a group of friends, and she.
Yeah, and that group of friends is a group of dumbasses.
No,
This is
no.
the popular opinion.
What the hell are you
it's a
saying?
It's
common
not.
misconception.
I am serious about
No.
this. I will stand behind this. I swear to God
Okay,
that
are we-
it means. Fucking Google.
Are we
We're
seriously
Googling
gonna
this
believe
shit.
the
I don't
guy
care.
You're going
who
with the
thought
phone.
the sun and the moon were gonna collide?
Shall we
into
bring
each
up
other?
Brett's coastlines?
I'm just
Do we
saying.
need to bring up Brett's
I'm
coastlines?
just saying. No, Brett's saying pretty new. I mean, goddamn.
But I just actually, when you guys were arguing, I just realized another like irrational fear I had.
Yeah.
It turns out that there is an isotope of potassium that is radioactive, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I also found out that this isotope is found in bananas, which are rich in potassium. Therefore,
Okay.
some bananas are radioactive. I fear that one day I'm going to bite into a banana and get banana powers. I'm going to become the banana man.
What would you do with banana powers?
Okay,
I don't know, but I'd be pretty appealing.
What are banana powers? Is what I want to know.
He gets to grow his dick back. That's what his goddamn banana
But
powers
I'm
are.
already the human penis and moist man.
Moist man.
Okay.
Oh.
Hold the fuck up. Google to the rescue. Fuck you guys, okay?
What, did you just
So-
Google what is 90% chance of
Yes,
rain
I
mean?
just Googled what does 90% chance of rain means. Fuck you. So, Precipitation probability. The probability of precipitation forecast is one of the most least understood elements of the weather forecast. The probability of precipitations has the following features. The likelihood of occurrence of precipitation as is stated as the percentage. A measurable amount defined as 0.01 inch, 1/100th of an inch or more usually produces enough runoff for puddles to form. The measure of liquid precipitation or the water equivalent of frozen precipitation. The probability is for the specified period of time, or the probability forecast is for any given point in the forecast area. To summarize, the probability of precipitation is simply a statistical probability of 0.01 inch or of more of precipitation in a given area in the given forecast area at the time period specified. Usually a 40% chance probability of rain. As an example, it does not mean that 40%. Fuck! I'm wrong! Yes!
Fucking told you! Eat dick, Quentin! Eat dick! Oh!
You fucking dumbass! This is Sun Moon Collision all over again! Get your fucking life together!
Red Thundercock Lewis strikes again!
I don't care. I will gladly defend that. Because his name is Richard, Storm Richard, so his name is Thundercock.
I see. I think you told me that before.
I think I know weather, bitch. I'm named after one of the X-Men who controls weather. Fucker.
Oh,
Doubting
man.
me with my science. I'm the one with bio.
I don't care. I'll stand by it.
Quentin, actually, fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't care.
That's right.
I don't care.
I'm gonna stand by my beliefs.
I am gonna stand by my beliefs.
Why do you
Until-
think this?
Until Google proves me wrong, I am correct.
That's
Google did just prove you wrong.
You're absolutely right.
Oh.
Now I
did
won't
just-
stand by it, but if I believe it, it is true.
Thanks, Gandhi.
Exactly.
That's not even right. That's not even right.
I've been reading his goddamn autobiography, so fuck you. I can use that.
Wait, where did you? Okay,
But seriously, like the percentage rain thing, that's
I
like the
can't
more
remember.
obvious explanation,
yeah.
not 40% of the area.
I can't remember.
What do you think
where
there's
I
gonna
heard it
fucking
from.
be? Okay, say it's 99% of an area covered and it's 100 square kilometers. You think there's gonna be one fucking square kilometer in the middle of it that's just not getting rained on?
well, I mean,
Yes.
it's also like the problem that my friend had. I'm totally gonna send this to her later. But the problem that my friend had was that like there weren't any bounds. Like she didn't know what the area specified, right?
Well, I mean-
like if it was gonna be like Plano, was it Plano or was it gonna be like the entire North Texas area? You know?
Ah,
Like,
that smell of dumpster.
oh, jeez.
Ugh.
Okay.
We're driving by a dump.
Oh, damn. Okay. Actually,
That actually smells like mint chip.
I actually live right there, so like I always drive by that, and it's fucking.
Oh
annoying.
yeah, you commute to UTD.
I commute to UTD.
How
yeah.
is that?
Yeah,
Horrible.
I mean, you get used to it. Like, it's like a 20-minute drive.
Yeah.
How often do you have classes?
How often do I have classes?
Yeah.
I have classes, every Monday through Thursday, I have a class that starts at 10 and ends at 7.
Is that just consistent?
7 p.m.
well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, like, in between that, 7 p.m.
Okay.
In between that time, it differs, right?
Yeah, I
In
get that.
In the
but
amount of
just
classes and the breaks.
No matter what, it
And
always starts
then-
at 10, ends at 7.
All right, and then Fridays I actually don't have classes, which is pretty nice. Saturdays I work, and then Sundays I usually go back for like a study group thing for calculus.
Yeah.
But you honestly get used to it. Like
Uh-huh.
I've figured out my routine. I got used to it.
Yeah.
So
Me, I got fucked on my schedule, and I go to school Monday through Saturday. Oh yeah.
it's a great
Green light.
Yeah.
Brett, I'm colorblind apparently.
Yeah.
I
But
should not
so-
be driving at night.
I will gladly tell the Master Dingus story now.
Yeah, please.
Okay,
But
After we went on a massive tangent on what fucking percentage of rain means.
I don't-
I'm totally sending this to my friend. Oh, no.
That works with me. But so what's happening is at the end of the day with whenever we're working, we have to mop and vacuum the floor. And usually that entails also cleaning the bathrooms and all that kind of stuff because our children have the same aiming skills as a stormtrooper with no eyeballs.
For a second, I thought you were say they have the same anus skills.
No, well that too, because I mean they kind of work together.
What
But
kind of butt yoga do you have to do to poop between the toilet seat and the actual toilet? That happened to me before.
You would literally not believe the shit that I've seen.
I've
before.
cleaned the bathroom once where I work, and goddamn, that was some freaky shit. And it was in
Okay.
the women's bathroom.
I'm gonna give you one word and just kind of leave it there. Indian food.
Oh,
Come
okay.
at me.
That's 2 words.
I don't care.
It's two
It's
words.
one word for now. But
So Google proves you wrong.
At the end of one day, my coworker who's just moved here from Korea, he's getting out the vacuum, He's gonna start vacuuming. And I'm like, okay. So
I had it in my head he was going to start vacuuming the toilet.
So I'm gonna start. So I have to get the mop, and the mop is located in the closet in the bathroom. So I go into the I'm going to the bathroom, open up the closet, and I
Is
get
there a kid in there?
no. I get the mop out, and as I get the mop out, I kind of see something weird. I look down, and there's still pee in the toilet, and I'm like, why? Why is there still pee in the toilet? And I'm like, who was the last one to use it? And I'm like, holy shit, it's my coworker. So he is 19 years old, and he just comes here, and he ran inside there, and I guess pissed, and then just left it there. So I walk out, because I do not deal with urine anymore. I see it too much around the damn toilet. I don't want to deal with it more than I goddamn have to.
Could you not just like flush the toilet? Was it in the
could.
toilet?
Yes, it was in.
But you wanted to have evidence.
But I had to give it to him because of him leaving it there. That is the problem that I had.
Well, I mean, maybe cultural differences. Like,
No, it's not called. He usually flushes. He just left it there that
okay.
one time.
Well, if it's mellow, I mean, if it's yellow, you gotta let it mellow.
exactly.
I don't care.
That's what my grandpappy
If
always
it's
told
yeah,
me.
if it's yellow, it's mellow. If it's brown, flush it down.
So
Obviously.
I see this pee, and I turn to my coworker and I go, sir, because he's a master. He's a rank higher than me. He is
Oh,
classified as
that's
a
not-
master.
okay.
And I'm like, sir, did you know you did not flush the toilet? And he's like, no, I didn't. I did. And I'm like, no, you didn't. You were the last one in here. And he's like, no, I did. And I'm like, okay. We teach 4-year-olds on a daily basis, and even they know to flush the toilet after they pee. You did not flush the toilet after they pee. They know how to work a dingus, and they're 4 goddamn years old. You are 19 years old. You don't know how to work your goddamn dingus. And then I just left. I was like, I'm done. And I flushed the toilet, kept mopping, and I spoke to a superior that way.
You know,
was that literally how you spoke to him?
Didn't say goddamn, but I did give him the speech about the dingus.
you know, see, in order to protect both yours and his honor, you should have challenged him to a duel where you just fenced.
just fenced.
Just whip off your pants,
Yep, I knew
whack
you-
out
I
your
knew it.
doodle, and just duke it out.
Oh, that kind of
First,
fencing.
you
Oh,
gotta get turgid. That's what you gotta do.
Turgid. What are you?
I would
talking-
assume that is an expression for an erection.
Turgid, by definition, it means swelled.
Yep.
Okay.
Ergo, filled with water.
Yeah.
All right.
An example: a stem in a plant is turgid when it stands upright,
Yep.
much like my cock.
Thank you for that.
Wait, but your cock isn't filled with
No,
water.
it's filled with blood. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a spongy material.
I'm just saying, like it's. I mean,
That always
it's-
mystified me when I was a kid. How does something floppy go to brew?
That actually confused me so much when I was a child. I thought I had a disease. I was like, what is going on down there? I thought I had to go see a doctor.
You see,
I was like,
I never really questioned it. I was like, oh, it's like this now, and oh, it's now up.
I was
all
like,
right.
something is wrong with me. There is something wrong with me. Why are you doing like that? I was like, do I have a superpower where I just grow bones? I seriously thought that for a while.
I'm just Wolverine, but with my crotch.
I was like, that's why I haven't broken a bone yet. Is they just keep regrowing so fast.
Did you just suddenly think you had a healing factor?
Yep, I thought I had a healing factor.
I have adamantium bones.
Okay, now, in addition to that, I would very much like to tell the story of the student-teacher fist.
Okay,
Fist.
yeah, okay. When you say fist, I'm thinking of anal fist.
Yeah, it's kind of. So,
Okay, good.
Did
I'm
you tongue
teaching.
punch the fart box.
So hold on. I'm teaching this one day, and as I'm walking around, because the way it works whoever's leading the class is in the front. All the students are lined up a couple lines forward from the back wall, and then the assistant instructors walk around along the back and kind of fix things if they're wrong and all that kind of stuff. So I'm walking around the back while one of my coworkers leading one of the classes. As I'm walking, my hand brushes by one of my students and it hits him in the elbow. And they turn to me and they go, "Sir, why did you elbow me?" And I'm like, "But that wasn't my elbow, that was my fist." And then they look at me and they go, "Sir, why did you fist me?" And I went, "Oh shit!" That happened to me, and I was like, no, we cannot have the students going home to their parents saying, "What happened in class today, child?" And they respond, "Well, Quentin fisted me today. Fuck, I'm fired." Oh man, oh that happened, and I was in a bad place. I was just sitting there in the back, and I was really trying real hard to withhold laughter, and it was just a bad experience for me.
Reminds me of
You should have just let them think it was your elbow and just be like, oh, sorry, never mind. That was because
No.
it was an accident, right?
Yeah, it was an accident, but
Yeah.
I couldn't let it stand. They thought it was my elbow, it's my hand.
Okay.
Yeah, but reminds me of the time when I was 8 and I accidentally invented both the words fugly and porn.
Wait, what?
you invented them?
by sheer coincidence, because I was talking to my buddy Corey, the guy who stares at street lamps, and I know it's up here,
Yeah.
but and he and I were like, man, this we were talking about Billy and Mandy, and we're like, wow, this show is fun but ugly. It's fugly. And we were talking about it to our parents, and we're like, yeah, we're watching this fugly show, and they're like, what did you just say?
Bro, that show was my shit. I love that show.
It was amazing.
That show and Samurai Jack, and Invader Zim, goddamn.
Yeah.
Best shows on TV.
And then another time I was in class and we were talking about colors. And I was like, I want to combine pink and orange and call it pornge.
Oh, you porange, not porn.
But like I would short it to porn sometimes. Turn. Oh, I fucking passed it. Woo.
And driving.
Oh, we're going to Steak and Shake. Okay. I thought we were going to In-N-Out.
So did I, but you passed
You
it.
passed it way.
Oh, shit.
way
It was like
further down.
way back there.
Oh, well, I guess we can go to... Yeah, when you go to In-N-Out, we can have Casey do the Man Burger Challenge.
Absolutely.
Or
The
Manstrosity.
Manstrosity. I'm actually really excited for
Yeah,
that.
Manstrosity is
Good luck.
Thank
But
you. I appreciate
you're
it.
going to die.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, is
a
there?
little bit.
Okay.
Is it right here?
No,
No,
you
it is
literally
way
passed it so
past.
far down.
Well,
We
shit.
are
You
so
passed
far
it-
away.
Yeah. Like
fuck.
I didn't
You
want
are dry.
I didn't want to say anything on the podcast, but
Me
like
too,
you passed
it's
it way
whatever.
far down.
I'm fucking blind.
Like-
I am thinking of porn, I guess, as the usual. But my brain is just
Just
a
the
shallow
usual
pool
2
of
p.m. thought.
fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the final note on this podcast, because since we're almost there, I will tell the story of recently this week, me and my Korean coworker are driving to Chipotle after work because we are very hungry people and it's some very good food. As we were driving there, I would like
Yeah, it's on this side with you.
Yeah, I would like you guys to tell me what streets we are about to hit. So we are on Preston right now. What is the other street name, please?
We are literally at Gaylord right now.
Yes, we are at Gaylord. Now, as my 19-year-old coworker is driving up to this, we are driving and he stops at the stop sign. We can't turn left up here, I don't think.
Well, shit.
Ah,
Oh well.
this
I will keep
is
going.
successful.
You have to
I'm
like make a U-turn.
determined.
You have to make a U-turn at some point.
But
Yeah,
so,
I'll make a U-turn up here.
but so as we were driving, we stop at the intersection, and he sits there, and he looks up, and he just starts laughing. And I'm like, what is so funny? I would very much like to know. And he turns and looks at me, and he just starts pointing. And I'm like, and I look up, and it says Gaylord. And I'm like, oh my God, I am in the car with a goddamn 5-year-old. Doesn't know how to control his goddamn dingus. Now he's laughing at goddamn Gaylord. And he's just, and I kid you not, he laughed for a good 10 minutes. We were in Chipotle ordering, and he was still laughing over it saying Gaylord.
I have a story about that.
And you never thought this in the car with me.
No, I didn't, because this road has been here since I was a child.
Yeah.
But he sees it for the first time.
I have a story about that actually. So, okay, in 10th grade or 11th grade US history, we had to do a project, right? And it was like within a specific decade, and it was a specific topic within that decade. So we got like Earth Day or whatever, like environmental safety or whatever. And the guy who literally invented Earth Day, I kid you not, look this up. The guy who literally invented Earth Day is named Gaylord Nelson. Gaylord Nelson. And the very first question I thought to my mind was, is that his name or his title? I was just like, that is not his real name. Like Gaylord Nelson, the inventor of Earth Day.
What cruel parents. Also, Earth Day is tomorrow.
Happy
Oh,
Earth
happy
Day.
Earth Day.
Well,
Happy
almost
Earth
Oh
Day.
man, you see, I bring it full circle there. It is.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
there
way.
we go. That's
Yeah, this is some
on
poetic
topic.
shit.
some on-topic, deep thinking stuff. We planned this in advance. We were like, damn, we're gonna celebrate Earth Day. Casey, bring up that Earth Day story.
Gaylord Nelson.
All right. Well, to keep it classy, we're gonna eat some fucking burgers and get obese.
Hell yeah.
See you later.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, since this was an unusual episode, we thought we'd do something unusual as well. We're going to give a few shout outs. I'd like to give a shout out to at Evil Dead News on Twitter. Thanks for giving us a sweet retweet. We tweet. Let's go ahead. In case you got anybody to thank.
Yeah, I guess shout out to my girlfriend, Jaya. I'm going to be sending this to her. I was really excited to come on the show, and she knew that. Also, shout out to my friend who thought that 90% chance of rain meant that 90% of the area was going to get covered. Like, I'm going to be sending this to you, too. I hope you enjoy it.
And also, shout out to my girl, Natalie Gaber.
Yeah, shout out to Natalie.
Yeah,
Hey.
she is awesome, and
She
I'm
really
glad you love Army of Darkness because it's so few people love that movie.
That makes you even more awesome, Natalie.
And then shout out to the Splatterhouse podcast for liking our thing on Instagram when we posted that. And yeah.
Hopefully getting us some more coverage.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys later.